What are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you overreacting about Poitras?
I'm not overreacting.
Then what are you doing?
Just doing some online shopping.
Shopping for what?
Nothing, man. Just, stuff.
What kind of stuff?
I don't know, nudie mags.
Ugh.
Yeah, so, can you go?
Jeez, alright. God, did not need to know that.
Jeez. And complete. Definitely not an overreaction. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team, that is a dub! Yeah, I get to be a little loud tonight. It's only 11 o'clock. So, your Boston Poitras are your Boston Olmarks are 5-0-0. The Poitras thing is great. It's great. But Olmark, he probably should be first star. I know we want to make Poitras first star, and obviously he is, but Olmark was phenomenal. Our goalies are so good. They're so good. It feels nice having a franchise that at least excels in that one area, which obviously the Bruins franchise is an amazing franchise to be a fan of. It's fantastic outside of some of the heartbreak, but every franchise has those. But just to know over the past, 20 years or so, and just really the history of our franchise in general, we tend to have great goaltending. It's a nice position to just always have the next guy. Feels good. Thank you to everyone who has joined the membership program that I should probably name. I already need to make more emojis and badges because once there's some members, it allows you to make more, and I've already got to get to work on that and the extra content and all that good stuff. But thank you for those of you who joined. For those of you who are interested, there's a join button below. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it! But I appreciate all the support. Let's talk about this game. That was horribly boring for large stretches. And that's mean and that's cruel, but I think we were just as tired. That's not true. But we were also tired as fans, as out-of-shape fans. We were also tired. The boys were tired. It was the third game in 4 days with a lot of travel. It was a tiring game. The Anaheim Ducks are playing a different game than everybody else right now. Because I don't think that they think they're ready. I don't think their fans think that. But this season already feels like a winning season for a couple of reasons. One, they're fun to watch-ish. This was a bit of a slog, but they've got real talent. Terry and Zegras and McTavish, Carlson, although we didn't get to watch Carlson. That Michekhov kid, I don't know who he is, but 19 years old, looked phenomenal. Drysdale, Linné, Lacombe, these guys are all 22 and under, obviously, other than Terry. And they're awesome. Varying degrees of awesome. It's all about the young guys and how they're stepping forward. I mean, even Lustel, whatever his name is. Their backup goaltender, maybe their starting goaltender. We played Gibson tonight, who isn't great anymore, with a .902 save percentage and a .306 goals allowed average going into this game, and both of those are probably one of those numbers is going down. They have a bunch of youth, and they're happy to see it grow and expand and get better. That's what the season's about. It's just kind of a bonus that it's kind of fun. It does kind of suck for them, though, because they're probably better than their 1-4 record right now, because this is their first 5 games. They had the Knights, the Canes, which was their win, by the way, the Yotes, who are decent, and the Stars, and then us. I don't care what team is going through that. They're not going 5-0 through those 5 games. That's a rough start. A really rough start. Either way, the Ducks made it interesting. For us, DeBrusk is back in after being benched yesterday due to disciplinary reasons. So this is how your lineups go. You're going to have a Marchand, Zacha, Pasternak, DeBrusk, Poitras, Geekie. So we're going back to the normal top 6. Still feels like we're a top 6 guy short because Geekie he's been solid. He's not top six guy to me. JVR, Coyle, Freddie. You'll notice that remains the same, but Lauko, Beecher, Brown. Lucic is day-to-day with a lower body injury. Most of us are assuming from when he took that shot off the side of the leg that led to Geeky's goal against the Kings. Pretty sure that's what's bugging him right now. On defense, we have Grizz, Mack, Lindholm, Carlo, Mitchell, Shattenkirk. Four is also day-to-day with lower body. That Mitchell-Shattenkirk pairing was not great. And then Ullmark, of course, in net. Back-to-back after a week on the road. It feels like a scheduled loss. And what happened? We didn't lose because I'm a big, dumb idiot. Even against this young Ducks team, it just felt like one of those where you lose that one and go, yeah, right, that kind of makes sense. Before this game started, I don't feed you stuff that I'm like, oh, this would be a fun thing to say I thought about before the game. This was a literal note I took before the game, but the more I try to convince you of that, probably the more you're like, you're full of shit. Anyway, it's fine. Before the game, I was thinking about how this is another Poitras test, right? He had a poor game on Thursday, and then Saturday comes around, he bounces back, and he has a strong game. That's one of those tests that you want to see in that 9-game sample, which we're 5 games into now. We're over halfway through Poitras' 9-game sample, which we'll talk about. But this is a back-to-back game on the road for a week. This is the NHL. The NHL is not simply being at an NHL level talent-wise, playing ability-wise. It's not just that. The mental and physical fatigue you go through, especially while on the road, it takes its toll. And we're going to see it deeper into the season, obviously. This is still very early, but it's hard. It is hard to handle. It genuinely is. I know a lot of us think back to our glory days and go, on the road with the boys for a week? Awesome. I am 30. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. That's a lot. That is a lot. It's a different lifestyle, I'm sure. I was looking at it as a test for him. He shut me up. Ullmark, who is getting the start, is 2-0-0, now 3-0-0 on the season. He has a 1-goal allowed average, which will remain the same, and a .958 save percentage, which I don't even know. That might have stayed the same. That might have gone down. I don't know. It's freaking ridiculous. I think it went up. I'm pretty sure it went up. Wow, I'm bad at math. It did go up. 969 is what he had tonight. Nice. He almost sank my fantasy week, the bastard. I would have been okay with it, obviously. Let's talk about this game a little bit. Puck drops. Puck drops! Didn't get to do that too often. 29 seconds in. What is this team known for? Taking penalties. Vakanainen. You remember him? Cross-checks Marchand in the back. His head goes into the boards. Like, this was a blatant cross-check. And Marchand stands up and cross-checks Vakanainen. Now, I know. It's a basic of hockey. If you retaliate, you're going to the box. But how the fuck do you miss that first one? I mean, the puck's underneath him, too. It's not even away from the puck. How the hell did you miss that? And then you are so fast to raise your arm on Marchand. I'm sitting there going, what? It was blatant. Vakanainen's was more vicious to start with. I'm biased and everything like that, but what a ridiculous call. We do get a DeBrusk shorthanded breakaway right away, and I could feel it. I could feel the whole fan base going, yes, please bury this. Just get right back into the swing of things. He goes posted out. What a heartbreaker. What a ball breaker. 11 seconds left. Carlo doggedly fighting for the puck after a face-off, and he gets tripped up by none other than Leeson. So we're going to go 4v4 for 11 seconds, and then we're going to go to the power play. The power play looks good, but no dice. We'll move on. And about midway through, we get a little scare. Grizz goes down the tunnel, took a shoulder right to the brain, but he comes back. He comes back and looked fine, so we're good there. 7:40 remaining. Gudas is going to go for high sticking to the power play. The power play looked good, but no dice. Anyway, 1:11 left. Gudas is going to go for interference. We're going to go to the power play. We don't do anything with the first 1:11. The second period starts with 49 seconds of power play time. The power play looked good. No dice. I genuinely thought the power play looks really strong. We're not getting the results we want right now, but the puck movement is mostly really good. We're not going to... There are going to be power plays where you just don't get anything going. It happens. You hope that happens 1 out of every 6 or 7 power plays where you just can't seem to set up. It happens. But other than that, power play has been really strong, I think. We're just not getting the results. 3:41 in. Mitchell is going to clear over the glass. Mitchell had a tough setup, tough role tonight. He has to go to his offside. He's playing left D instead of his usual right D. And he did not do well. And I think it's an unfair position for a young guy who's just trying to get his footing to suddenly switch his sides, which does matter. Let's not pretend that doesn't matter. But it was not good. It was not good. We're going to go to penalty kill. We kill it. Ducks turn it on about 7 minutes into this one and start peppering the Bruins. Things get a little rowdy, and Coyle and Jones will go for offsetting minors. We're going to go 4v4 for a bit. Nothing happens from that. 7:03 left. Mitchell is going to go for tripping. It wasn't a good game for the guy. We share a first name, too. He's embarrassing me. He's embarrassing me. Because I would definitely be better out there. I would. 5:35 left. Harry takes down Coyle to prevent the shorthanded breakaway. 4-on-4 for 33 seconds. And then a power play. And the power play looked good. No dice, but it looked good. Freddie would go down the tunnel during this period, but he would return for the third, thank God. We're getting a couple injury scares here or there, but it's early season that happens. It happens through the whole season. What am I talking about? Third period starts. It is 0-0. This has been a snooze fest. We sleepwalked, however you want to say that, sleepwalked through the second period for the most part, except for the very end probably. It has been a non-enjoyable game to watch for the most part, which is frustrating. If you like goalie play, it's been pretty fun. Because although there were a lot of opportunities, Ullmark was showing out. And Gibson was having a moment here or there, but Ullmark was definitely challenged more. 5:05 into the third period. The Ducks have been all over us. And this is a great play by Vetrano. God, why can't we get players like that, right? I'm kidding. Vetrano sets up McTavish with a little one-touch, little tap play that springs him. Carlo's flat-footed. This isn't fully on Carlo. He's holding the blue line, and this is just a really great transition play by the Ducks. So McTavish takes off. And Lindholm, he's on a 2-on-1. McTavish is going to feed Strome. Strome is going to fire in on net. Ullmark makes the big save, but there's a rebound. And McTavish is there to clean it up, and it's 1-0. And my statement here, this guy's Ullmark can only do so much. This West Coast swing, I don't think we've been a dominant team in by any means, and the goaltending has truly been the reason we are winning these games. That is not fully reliable. It's not. Great goaltending is great goaltending, but you also have to excel at other areas too, and we're giving up too much, and the goaltending's bailing us out, and the offense isn't exactly in a place that you want it just yet. But hey, it's still super early. A minute and a half later, it's a fast break down the ice. And the breakout is started by Lindholm, and DeBrusk keeps it moving, and it gets into the zone. And Geekie catches up, and he's going down that left side. He grabs the puck. He's underneath the left circle. Chuck it to the front of the net. I think he knew that somebody was going there, and somebody was. Because Matthew Poitras is there to collect and fire it past an outstretched Gibson for his first goal as a Boston Bruin. Remember what I said less than 24 hours ago? I think we're going to need to see him directly impact the scoring more to actually stay in the NHL. The setup plays and the plays to get in the zone, doing the little stuff right, fantastic. That's so important. But you also have to have, if you're going to be a top 6 guy, an effective one in this league, you have to have a scoring touch. You have to help in that area. Do I expect a 19-year-old Matthew Poitras to have 75 points this season? Absolutely not. But if he gets close to 45, 50, that's huge. And I believe this is 3 points now, or will be 3 points now, through 5 games, which is a strong start. And that's a tie game. with the 19-year-old rookie scoring his first NHL goal, and the place is going nuts, even though this is the Ducks' home arena. There's a lot of Bruins fans there. It's a good time for everybody other than Ducks fans, and I think even they appreciate it a little bit. Sometimes you do with the rookies. Not the way that I didn't appreciate Bedard's first goal at all. Maybe I'm just a bitter man. I don't know. Either way, we're going to move on. And the Ducks turn it on, man. They have more energy. They genuinely did. And they're playing on a back-to-back, too. But they were all over us for the next couple of minutes. Geeky, with a terrible turnover about 3 minutes later, just gives it up in front of the net. Leads to a long possession, but luckily we have Ullmark, the great equalizer. And then about 10 and a half minutes into the third period, Poitras getting hot. And this is him, too. This isn't just... I'm a little curious to see if this guy can score with his own shot. Like, really score with his own shot. Because he just doesn't shoot a ton. He started to a little bit in this one. But he wins a race to contest on the forecheck of a puck dump in. And he wins the puck. And he cycles it back to the point. And immediately beelines it. So he made that play that we talked about, the little play to create the possession in the offensive zone to allow a chance. And then he goes straight to the front of the net. All 180 pounds of him goes straight to the front of the net. The balls, man! I mean, I know we're all sitting there like, yeah, if it meant I could play in the NHL, I'd do that. It's different. It's different when you are out there. I just want to really stress to you, especially if you haven't played the game, you think mentally, you're like, I will do this. And you'll tell yourself to do this. But hesitations, and you're overthinking, and that guy clobbered you last time you were standing next to him, it happens. Either way, he goes right to the front of the net. I'm just gushing over this. Puck is going to get cycled around, eventually get to DeBrusk at the top of the slot, and he's going to skate his way into the right circle. And clearly, there's just not a play to be made, so he's going to get this in on the net. And he's going to fire it high. Gibson knocks it down right on Poitras' stick, who just buries this past him, flips it right by. And it's a 2-goal game for the boy. Had he watched, which he doesn't get, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bummed he didn't get it. I wanted that for him so badly. 2:34 left. Marchand's going to get the empty netter for a 3-1 win. Zegras is going to go for slashing with about a minute left, giving us a power play. Nothing really comes of it. It did look good, though. No dice. Either way, your Boston Bruins are 5-0-0 through a West Coast swing trip. We'll take those. We will take those. Game notes. Poitras. It's not over. This is not now guaranteed he's staying up here, but it feels like an 80% chance, right? It feels like, yeah, he's staying. I don't know. It feels like that to me. Obviously, fresh after this win, you're feeling that way, but I feel like he's our best option at 2C right now. I feel like that line's been playing better, even with the changes that's been made since he took over for Coyle. I'm pretty comfortable leaving him there. So, also, the whole burning ELC, a year of the ELC, the fear there is you get 20 games of the season, he can't hack it, and you send him down, but you've just burnt a year of his contract. Who cares? Honestly, who cares rather than that year slide? He's got 2 more years on the ELC, then you have to sign him long-term anyway. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Honestly, I don't. Not with the way things are moving right now. I think that's fine. If he's a real 2C in the NHL, like if he grows to when he's 22, 23 years old and he's a 75, 80-point player on the second line, which is pretty good company in this league. What a find. What a find. Fantastic. Ullmark and the goaltending in general. I just saw this stat. I think Ty Anderson shared it. I think he did on Twitter. Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman. Linus Ullmark, as you know. The tandem has started 5-0-0, has stopped 143 of 150 shots faced for a .953 save percentage combined. The best tandem in the league. The best tandem. That being said, the team in front of them needs to perform better as a whole. The last couple of games were a little rough. I would argue there's a lot of growing to be done on every single line and every single pairing on this team. I think there's a lot of growth that's going to happen through this season. I don't think that's insulting at all. I think there's been a lot of change. New systems are being implemented. Monty has talked about that. We're changing up a little bit, but he said he wasn't going to get away from too much, but it's pretty clear we're changing some things. It's going to take time. The team's going to have to take a couple steps forward if we're going to compete with the better teams in the league. Which brings me to our last game note. Because I could do the shout-outs for it. Zaka looked good again. Marchand was an animal. And there's like little things about the players. But in general, I wouldn't say it was a great game once again. This might be negative, which is weird. Because I am a very positive thinker. I like to think I'm a genuinely somewhat smart hockey fan. That I know the game a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know what the hell this team is yet. I don't. I know the goaltending's great, and defense is going to have to be our vibe. Defense is going to have to be what we excel at. I understand that's how we're going to have to win. But as far as the offense goes, and how we're going to create scoring opportunities, I don't think anyone truly knows what this team is just yet. We have played 5 teams, 3 of which we know are bad, and 2 of which we think aren't great. We're going to start getting closer after this month. In November, really, we're going to start playing some better teams. And we do have Detroit coming up at the end of the month, too, which is 5-1, and they've been crushing people. So there are definitely some tests going to come up and show up, but I don't think it's a bad thing to say, I don't know what this team is yet. I want to see more, obviously, but there are a lot of question marks. Can the top 6 actually hack it against an elite team? A contending team? Can the third pair play real minutes against a stronger team? Is our goaltending being buoyed by poor finishing teams, or are they truly this level again this year? I'm leaning towards they're just really great, but I think there are some questions, and most of them surround the offense and how the lines really should shake out and what we're truly missing. And there's pieces missing, but that's part of a transition year, and we couldn't ask for a better start. We truly couldn't. Lucky to be Bruins fans. Always. Always. Go Bees. Go Bees!